Hello, housemates, and welcome back to Avernum 2 Crystal Souls. We just made it to Fort Draco, and we've seen a couple times now that this Torment difficulty is no joke, so we're going to try and find some less violent ways of going up levels at first here. Alright. It's never any fun to talk to guards. The House of Crisper. Okay. Oh, it's an inn. Merchant. Harg. There is a large, filthy, dirty man sitting at the bar, swilling down mushroom ale. You sit by him and ask him his name. Harg. He grunts. May I ask your profession? I'm a caravan drover. Not much work now. Not as long as the barriers are up. What do you know about the barriers? They block all the roads. That's all I know. What else should I know? I look like a wizard to you? I have another question. You seem to be in a very bad mood. He belches bitterly. You would be too. I'm thwarted in love. The picture of all feminine beauty? Her name is Rose. She lives in Formello. I wish I had the nerve to propose to her, but I don't. So, I drink to minimize my sorrow. He takes another swig. Maybe I can propose to her for you? If you did that, I would be your enemy for life. You should butt out. That's what he says, but you detect a glimmer in his eye. He probably would really appreciate it. I'm suspicious of my insight there. The bar is tended by a handsome man with a somewhat deranged demeanor. He fights a constant and futile battle to keep the counter free of soot. He's pleased to have a customer who isn't a stranded merchant. Welcome to my inn. My name is Crisper. What makes cleaning here so tough? He twitches. Let me tell you about all the ashes. I never knew when I bought this place that there would be so many ashes. A ton a day. Piles and piles of them all over. And smoke, too. It isn't just that. He twitches alarmingly. It's the spiders. I have to clear away their webs. The noises they make. All of them. What's so difficult about a bunch of spiders? He twitches. They're what did this to me. It was the happy spiders. I can't get them out of my brain. I hear them speaking to me sometimes. A whole bunch of them live in a cave to the west. Some of them came around here not that long ago, looking for someone to help them. I've always hated spiders, and having them like me only makes it worse. He's ranting. You get nervous. Maybe I can help them? You're welcome to try. I'm never going out there. Spiders are terrifying, even friendly ones. So, barkeep, heard anything about the magic barriers outdoors? Only that they're a disaster, completely cutting us off from all of Avernum. If you want real information, talk to Captain Anford. You can find him near the docks. What's on the menu today? All drinks are 3 coins. It don't matter what you order because it all tastes the same. The soot, you know. You can sleep in the common room for 5 coins. You can even buy rations. Feel free to stay and rest for a while. Just never mind me. It takes all my time keeping this place clean. Okay, I don't need anything. He nods. I'll get back to paying customers then. Alright, well that guy's a little bit loony. Let's see. Don't worry about a trapdoor at the moment. We found the linen closet, that's exciting. Archer. Ore storage, register your piles. Alright, job board. Lost banner. The Nephilim in the castle east of Fort Ganrick attacked a Fort Draco patrol. They stole one of our banners. An insult to the honor of Avernum. If you can return this banner to Captain Anford of Fort Draco, you will be rewarded. A group of thugs and criminals has holed up in the verdant valley to the east of Fort Draco. They have been assaulting our ore caravans, and they must be stopped. Destroy them, and report your victory to forewoman Kellia. Inspect barriers. We are gathering information on the magical barriers in the hope of learning how to defeat them. One of the barriers has been seen blocking the road across the river west of Fort Draco. Travel there and inspect one of these powerful barriers. See, in particular, if it extends all the way to the walls and the ceiling of the tunnel. Report what you learned to Commander Anford. A small band of ogres has been sighted roaming the road south of Fort Draco. Draco, whatever I've been saying. They demand payments from travelers in violation of Avernite law. Thus, they must be destroyed. For the adventurers who succeed, the bounty has been left with CRISPR. All right. This is the Fort Draco Foundry. It's small, hot, and very busy. To the north is a broad, shallow pool of molten rock and metal. The fresh iron runs off into narrow troughs, where the metal solidifies into ingots. How the pools are kept so hot is unclear. Magic? A short, stout woman is taking notes on a sheet of lichened parchment. She is covered with a thick layer of soot, like everything and everyone around here. She slaps you firmly on the shoulder in greeting. You feel sprained. Hi, I'm Kellia. If you want to know anything about the Foundry, let me know. Do you need anything? I mean, what with the war and the barrier and all? The barriers were a disaster. We can't get much ore. That means we can't fill our orders. She thinks. You know something? You could help. If you find any iron bars, bring them here. I'll pay well. Avernum needs all the metal it can get. It's precious stuff. How does this smelter work? She looks down at the pool of bubbling ore. A very, very good question. Making steel requires incredible heat, which requires a lot of fuel, which we don't have. Okay, so how does this smelter work? Oh, magic. Who created it? Some mages who came up from the Tower of Magi. They knew we needed their help to make steel, so they used magic to make this thing. I don't know how to run it. I just watch and make sure nothing goes wrong. But what if something does go wrong? I send a message to the Tower of Magi, and then I hope. Of course, since the barriers are still up, the message won't get there, so what I do now is just hope. So you do the best you can and hope. That's how Avernum works. She winks. All right. What are you up to? I'm the forewoman here. We can't talk long. We have a load of ingots due to Fort Mellow. Where's Formello? Biggest city up here. It's some ways to the southeast. Avernum has a large barracks there. Our next load of steel has to go there anyway, what with the barrier and all. Yeah, the barrier that just appeared blocks the road and passages. We can't send stuff anywhere far away. It's a bad, bad thing for the rest of Avernum. Lots of fortresses count on us for weapons. All right. Oh, there he is. You are greeted by an enormous, heavily muscled man stripped to the waist. Somehow, his ruddy glow manages to shine through the paleness caused by his years of living in these caves. He grabs your hand and shakes it. I'm Butel, master blacksmith of these caves. You have the look of a warrior about you, but your weapons are, if you don't mind me saying, lacking. I might be able to help. What sort of weapons do you sell? Sadly, all of our best steel has to go to the army to help defend against the Empire. Fortunately, I have some other blades I can spare for you. Not my best, but they will help you survive. I don't need anything. All right. No, I'm not done with you. What do you do here? I work steel, one of the few down here who does. If you want a good weapon, you can buy it here. I also do repair work. Oh, what kind of repairs can you do? Well, I don't mean to brag, but the mighty Demon Slayer itself was reforged by my hand. This seems implausible, but you let it slide. I can repair any blade you need reworked. What is the Demon Slayer? A powerful weapon, one of the greatest ever. And we own it. It cuts through demons as if they weren't there. I think it's in the castle now for safekeeping. And to think, I repaired it. Who discovered the pieces of Demon Slayer? Why, the great heroes, of course. The great heroes who found Demon Slayer and slew the demon Grahoth, who threatened all of Avernum. I met the great heroes. Honest, I did. And it was one of the great honors of my life. Well, what happened to the great heroes? Why, nobody knows. Nobody has heard of them for years. Some say they retired and live quiet, anonymous lives. Others think that they escaped to the surface. And some think they fight on still, waging a secret war against the Empire. They were amazing, though. Tall, strong, pale, like all Avernites, carrying only the highest quality armor and weapons. Truly, we will never see their like again. So, as is the fate of many famed bands of adventurers who become too powerful to stick around, or else there'd be no problems for you to solve, they had to disappear. It's like the Warden from Dragon Age, and then the Champion from Dragon Age 2. They fuck off after they get all powerful and do their good work, for some reason, and feel like they don't have to help anymore. It's really a bit of a... it's a bit stupid. There's plenty of work for more than just one band of overly powered, greedy adventurers. Alright, looks like nothing more interesting to say to him. Orson's fine weaponry. This is an elderly man watching over the tables of goods. He is sharpening an arrowhead when you enter. His skin is like parchment, bleached white. He looks up at you. Ah, a customer. He brushes soot off the counter with his hand. I'm Orson. What do you sell here? I run this fine little weapons shop. He waves at his stock. Not a bad lot. The barrier made it difficult to get stock. Did you make these weapons yourself? I must tell the truth. No. I don't deal in new steel Draco weapons. I buy weapons from those who find them, clean and repair, then sell, with a modest profit for myself. What do you know about these barriers? Not much, I'm afraid. I won't be able to get much new stock with these barriers up, but I still have a lot here. I just hope those things get down soon. I don't need anything. Draco School of Military Arts. Ooh. This low room is filled with the smell of sweat and leather. This is the training hall of Fort Draco, where the hard-working instructor drills adventurers in the skills they need to know to survive in Avernum. Boris. This burly man is standing in the middle of the training hall, fiercely smacking a dummy. When you get close, he turns, looks you up and down. He's clearly unimpressed. Obviously, I have to do a Russian accent for Boris. I'm Boris. You here to train? His voice makes the air vibrate. Okay, he's supposed to be really low voice, but I already did that once. So, what can you do for me? I train people who need it. I have taught many of soldiers who give their lives defending us. I also expend my precious time assisting adventurers. What do you teach the soldiers? Soldiers often get sent to me to learn to survive in combat. Empire soldiers are fast and deadly. It's all I can do to give them skills to avoid being butchered. You know how to fight? I know how to do a little of everything. I even know a few of the simpler magic rituals and focusing exercises. This is turning into Christopher Walken here somehow. My Russian accent is terrible. I'm an Avernite soldier. Can you teach me? Yes, but you will have to pay. I would love to share my knowledge for free, just not enough to do it. I have another question. Let's get to work. I'd like to learn. All right, I can teach you spells and holy rituals. I can't perform rituals, of course, but I can show you motions. I can also improve some of your skills, though that is far more expensive. Alright, I'd like to learn spells. Okay, so slightly expensive. We definitely want haste. That'll take pretty much all of our coin. Yeah, it's definitely worth it, though. Hey, bye. Do I not have enough? Oh, balls. We'll have to do some more training first, which means we actually have to go up a level. Esther's Armors. A woman with graying hair, pale to the point of translucency, sits behind the counter. I'm Esther. Welcome to my shop. She waves at the armor around the room. Plenty here for a young adventurer. Tell me about your wares. You can buy armor here. Shields, helms, and so on. Mostly scavenged and repaired. It's not the fancy steel stuff like Bodil makes, but the price won't break you. And when you're done here, Orson can help you with your weapons. Who's Orson? My husband. His weapons shop is just around the corner. We came down into Avernum together 10 years ago. We're old-timers. What do you think about Botel? His smithy is just down the road. He's a bit full of himself, but let me tell you, he's the finest hammer and anvil man in Avernum. And maybe the surface, too. Do you do repair work? Of course. I'm not a burly specimen like Botel, but I can fire up the forge and do repair work when I need to. Most of my goods are previously owned. Alright, well I don't need anything. A lot of talking. Let's talk to Anford. A middle-aged man is reclining against one of the statues, looking out over the water. He wears the robes of a mere mage apprentice, but the commander's insignia he wears on his shoulder communicates much greater authority. He greets you with a confident nod. Welcome, fellow soldiers. I'm Anford, commander of Fort Draco. My gate guards told me of your arrival. I'm glad you came to see me. Captain Vidican said I might be able to help you. Commander Anford nods. I think she mentioned you in her last letter. Working in construction? Kept a clear head during the recent raid, yes? Showing potential. She sent you out to look for a more useful post. I'm glad you came here. I do think I have a way to use you. I need to look for a post? Afraid so. Normally, we'd send you to Silvar or to the castle for an official evaluation and station. However, the barriers kept that from being an option. Since you showed initiative, the good captain trusted you to find the best place to fight for Avernum. Oh, can I be stationed here? Perhaps. First, I need to see if your skills can be best applied here. If you can help me with something, I can give you advice in return. Oh, I have a message from Gridley, quartermaster of Fort Ganrick. They need more javelins. Commander Anford actually laughs. From us? We're already scavenging the javelins we use from the battlefield. Every one we have, we've already recovered and repaired at least 3 times. You are free to convey my sympathies. That's all I have to say. Are you an apprentice mage? Yes and no. I am the commander of Fort Draco. I'm also a mage, but that isn't as important. My duty is to this fort first and foremost. Well, which came first, your apprenticeship or your command? I've been an apprentice mage for 5 years. In the Slith Wars, I got assigned to this fort, and they found I had a knack for tactics. I never returned to the Tower of Magi. Well, do you wish to? Of course. Our lives in Avernum are humble and dangerous, but they are ours. All of us wish for the day when this war ends. The Empire is gone, and we can return to our dark, damp homes. Why are you standing out here? This is where I do my thinking about the fort. My office, so to speak. Normally, I'd be planning tactics, scouting, defenses, that sort of thing, but not lately. We fought off a bunch of Empire assaults, and they've left us alone lately, so that's not on my mind. We have a different threat now. I'm mainly thinking about the barrier. What do you know about the barrier? The barriers appeared a few weeks ago. Impenetrable fields of magic. Outdoors, huge, of the sort we've never seen before, cutting off this area from the rest of Avernum. We can't break them down. We can't touch them. It's a disaster. They've cut Avernum into pieces. Well, who do you think created them? The Empire is the most common guess. They have invaded us, and this may just be their newest weapon. However, I don't believe it. Why? I'm no expert on magic, but this is like no spell I've ever heard of. I think this is something new, something different. I would tell the castle, but of course I have no way to send a message to them. So I'm guessing that somehow the barriers block magical transport too, because just like in the last game, there are teleporters. So maybe it's just that he doesn't already have clearance to use it, but you think that something could be worked out. Another question. You mentioned you have a job that I can do. I'm glad you asked. There have been some bandits ambushing caravans near the fort. Very near. I think they're based very close to the fort. Directly under us, in fact. Convince their leader to take them away. Failing that, kill them. In return, I will strive to find a way to return the favor. Wait, there are bandits underneath the fort? I'm not proud of it, but yes. They were tolerated for some time, but now we need to be rid of them. I was going to send some of my own soldiers, but you have shown an aptitude for tunnel combat. I can think of no better way to evaluate you. How did the bandits get down there in the first place? My predecessor was a practical man. He didn't mind housing a few brigands. They were allowed to capture the occasional caravan. In return, they paid their keep by watching the tunnels, wiping out goblins and so on. What happened to your predecessor? He took a force out of the fort headed west. Empire forces cut them off and killed every one of them. This was before the barriers appeared. Well, why do you want to be rid of them now? Because they have grown arrogant and strangely erratic. They make demands. They are bullies. In addition, I hate bandits. Alright, so we have some bandits under Fort Draco. Enough talking for this episode. Let's find something to do. So were any of those things non-combat based? Pretty much no. So let's wander out and see if we can find some combat that's not too bad. This enormous gallery is a successful farming area. Long, orderly rows of mushrooms surround you. Crude stone homes are visible among the smooth slopes and jagged stalagmites of the cave floor. So, one thing to note, in our combat so far, we've made a great use of terrain. In open combats out in the world map, that's less often an option. So they're going to be much more difficult. And so I'd like to avoid them whenever possible. Cave lore and your reputation can help you can both help you with that. There's really not much for it at the beginning here. I'm just going to have to figure out a way to deal with these combats. Now, like, here's some Nephilim. We've managed to escape their notice. So our cave lore is already high enough to get rid of them. However, we also do need XP, so let's fight. Oh, damn it, I pressed the wrong button. Okay. Some lizards. Gunston Homestead. That's more talking. I don't want to do that right now. Let's explore the caverns. That's always a good way to get into a fight and get killed. Stick over this way. Alright, so those are some bats. We don't want to avoid them. Okay, just regular old bats. Damn. I'm gonna get ignominiously defeated by fucking bats. Alright. Definitely need protection. Alright, one bat down at least. Nope. Ow. Shit. Alright, good. So we don't want to hit them because they're dazed. Neither of them are, so they are good. Can't hit shit. Ugh. Alright, it's 2 down. Let's move him away. Alright. Let's rearrange ourselves and not disturb them. Okay. We need to put our defenses back up. And then... Come on, man. Good. All right, so we'll focus on this one. Alright, that worked. We don't have any first aid. Now maybe we should go around this way. Secret wall. You find scatterings of ruined mining equipment, carved totems, and bones. The debris is littered throughout the passage to the east. You must be getting near the land of the Nephilim tribe. You are almost to the new Nephil settlement. They've left a small group of guards outside. They're goblins, small, frail, craven creatures, about 8 of them. They see you immediately. They're a few hundred feet away. The miserable beasts clearly don't care to fight you. They watch you carefully, hoping that you just go away. Nope. They regretfully pick up their crude weapons and move to attack. They are already resigned to quick, horrible deaths. Their fatalistic attention to duty in the face of overwhelming odds serves as an inspiration to us all. Kind of sounds like a line from Catch-22. I'm going to record that one. That one's pretty funny. Alright, it's all just regular goblins, so this shouldn't be too bad. We're actually going to... Sometimes it's a good tactic, sort of crunch back a bit and make them come to you. Yeah. Especially if you can figure out what their AP are, you can usually, hopefully you can avoid it better than that. And also now they're better clumped up for being dazed. So I didn't use daze much in my original playthrough or in my Avernum 1 playthrough, because I was playing on normal and it wasn't really necessary. Okay, good. Work on this one. I missed him. Even if you miss, it still undazes him. Good, excellent. Alright, so now they're all back in having turns. Let's try and daze them again. They're weak-minded, so we got all of them. We'll focus on this dude. Okay, good. Let's wait. This one is undazed on his own. Nice. Oh, we all went up a level at once. That's pretty handy. That won't always stay that way. With wisdom crystals and when you have to send sometimes a single person into an encounter, that will change. But and also, if people get traits at a different rate and you assign them differently, sometimes you'll assign the XP traits to somebody earlier. I'm not going to do any of those at all, so our level up should happen pretty synchronously, at least for a while. And level ups are especially good for your spellcasters because they automatically put your energy all the way back up to full. So that's good. Yeah, I know all that already. So, to be safe, keep dazing. Yeah, how do you like it, AI? Fucking jerks. Nice. Alrighty. And they drop some flawed crystals. And we're done with that. Let's do our level ups. Okay, so I think I need to go for go for strength right now. We have 2 points to spend. I want to put 1 in hardiness. We'll stick with hardiness and blade weapons until we have a lot of the battle disciplines we need. We're putting all of our tool use in 1 person this time. So I don't think we'll worry about anything else at the moment. So we could put another into hardiness right now and make it 3 and 3. No, we can't. We can only put them 1 at a time. That's right. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put something in backstab now so that we can get some damage bonuses, because it is taking a lot of hits to kill these things. It's going to mean that we need coordinated tactics between our 2 melee fighters, but it's definitely worth it. You see, she gets 2 talents, which is super good. So we'll give her a backstab. Let's go ahead and go with improved endurance. right? You. Strength, full weapons, hardiness, backstab. You see, he only got one trait because he is not a human. You, more dex. Actually, yeah, we can only put 1 point in tool use anyway. So, yeah, that's what we should do. So his tool use is currently 4. We'll do Deadeye. You. Intelligence, you need so much spell energy. Again, we can only put 1 in each of these at a time. Got 2 traits. Let's go ahead and put 1 in each of these focus talents. Healing, 3% better, 3% more damage from elemental spells. Alright, let's head in. The cave wall to the east is very uneven and jagged. The surface is interrupted by a number of cracks. Looks like some of the holes might be large enough to crawl through. You'll have to get close for sure. Ta-da! All right, we are in the hidden Nephilim cave. We're gonna stop this episode here. I fully anticipate having to come in and out of here a number of times because we don't have a lot of expendable resources, so we're gonna have to clear it out a little bit, go back to Fort Ganrick, lick our wounds, come back, so on and so forth. It'll be a bit tedious. Maybe I'll do a Nephilim cave, maybe for dungeons. What I'll tend to do, because they're going to take a lot of time in Torment, is I will do a raw footage recording and then cut it up to take out the sort of back and forth stuff. I do need to do some practice with video editing. I really haven't done any at all, and I don't want this series to balloon too much because it really has the potential to do so, and I want to make it a little bit more entertaining. I will continue with doing all the dialogue in the cities unless someone tells me they hate it, because I think that's part of the fun of this game, is talking to the people in the world, seeing their sort of curmudgeonly, quirky habits. So I'm going to keep that in. Sort of wandering around in the wilderness, making trips back and forth from dungeons, that's the kind of stuff that I plan to cut out. So let me know if that sounds like a good idea to you. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. We got our first level up. You know, I really need to build the power of these characters, so we'll see how my choices stand me, what stead they stand me in. So please hit a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed it. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and if you're not going to do any of those things, then I don't care what you do.